Welcome to the Prep Beat. This is Thomas Lawrence. I'm TJ Holmes. Today we're previewing Week 5 Game of the Week, Chico at Enterprise. And Thomas, last year Enterprise just got smacked in the mouth against Chico that ended their win streak when they came out to Reading.
Yeah, and Trevon Reed, Chico's quarterback, really had his way with him last year, running the ball, throwing the ball. He had over 330 yards of offense combined with those two things. This year, though, more injuries for that guy. He's hurt his shoulder, he's hurt his knee, so he's not their quarterback right now. And, both teams, my key to this game is they're really going to have to rely on those skill position players. For Enterprise, will be guys like tailback Brad Woods, Travis Hall, who had 4 touchdowns overall last week against Red Bluff. For Chico, they got Jesse Holmes, who's a record-setting wide receiver in this section.
Yeah, and then my key to this game is for Enterprise's side is to hang on to that ball, that clock control, because they're proving that they can run the ball with either Brad Woods or Jace Aravis. Both of them have carried the ball, the first 2 weeks and then the last 2 weeks with Brad Woods being out. So those two have established a good ground game. If they can run the ball, keep the ball out of Chico's offensive hands, that means that they're going to put a lot more pressure on Chico to score when they have the ball.
Yeah, you talk about running the ball. A team that likes to run the ball, depending on the situation, there's Paradise and a team that runs the ball almost every time. And they're hosting Foothill this week down at Ombre Field on the Ridge, and Paradise has beaten Foothill 5 straight times and 2 times in the Northern Section Division I title game. So, Foothill has plenty to play for, plenty on the line besides just pride this week.
Yeah, the top 2 teams in Division I scoring off. And, what's key about Foothill in this game is that they've already seen a wing T team. There's no shock factor. They played against Plaster earlier in this year. Yeah, Paradise's wing T is a little bit different, and they haven't been able to stop it the last couple of years, but, they've already seen that wing T, so they shouldn't be clueless as to what's going on and everything. And for these two teams playing each other, Paradise and Foothill, they've been playing, you said, their championship, they faced each other in the championship games the last 2 years. They're playing a lot earlier in the season in September this year rather than the end of November. That should allow for their playmakers to make the cuts and moves that they're going to want to make.
Yeah, and Red Bluff, a team that's on the up and up this year, their playmakers struggled a lot last week in Enterprise. Wide receivers like Mitch Fox and Wyatt Hobie, Tucker Goliford, their halfback. And Red Bluff, a team that's 0-1 in league now, looking to establish themselves as a viable threat in the EAL, in Division I. They're hosting Shasta, who lost on the road to Foothill last week, a tough game. And for Shasta, a team that's also trying to get their first win in league, but a team that's really, they're there every year. They haven't won a section title in quite a while, but they're in the picture. They're fighting into the playoffs. So it's really 2 programs that need a win, but 2 programs that are coming from very different places in recent history.
No, I totally agree with you on that. And, Shasta proved last week against Foothill that they can put up points, scoring 29. They've shut out 2 other teams 35-0 this year, and they scored 21 on West Valley. So, they can put up points. It's going to matter on Red Bluff's defense to have to stop those Shasta's offense that can put points up in bunches. And as you saw last week against Enterprise, Red Bluff had struggles on defense.
Yeah, they definitely did. Down in Chico, West Valley, coming off a bye week, a team that's 4-0, ranked number 1 in Northern Section Division II in our Prep Football Media Poll. They're taking on Pleasant Valley on the road. And, Pleasant Valley, a D1 team, but 2-2, and a team that's not quite what it used to be.
Yeah, and West Valley's had the last 2 weeks to prepare just for this one game and this upper division team against PV. A lot of people are kind of suspecting kind of a blowout in this, since PV's kind of struggled only with wins only over Orville and Las Plumas, so that's going to be tough for them. This could get ugly very quickly.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah, and that's going to do it for recapping this week's top prep football games. Make sure you check out prepbeat.com for more video highlights, scores, and stats the rest of the weekend.